to what the president had to say tonight?
Well, it's common cause, Francis, and the viewers, that the lockdown was not a permanent arrangement, and that the primary issue was to ensure that the healthcare services and infrastructure are prepared and readied for the realities of COVID, which will be with us for the longest of time into the future. And so we approach level one with cautious optimism in that South Africans will continue to exercise heightened discipline and observe all the protocols of the preventative measures that have been put in place, because quite clearly we are not out of the woods as yet, and therefore it was unavoidable for the president to actually take us to level one. This is a consideration which, amongst other things, is about reigniting the economy and pushing back on the very difficult realities which South Africans have had to live by over the past 6 months.
Yeah.
And
well, on that score, Mr. Klengwa, were you disappointed that the president did not give details of the economic recovery plan that he touted yesterday? It's been through NEDLAC, so Labour has looked at it, government, business. He said it would be a milestone and usher in a new era of confidence. But seemingly this hasn't gone through cabinet yet, and it's 6 months from the first lockdown.
Yeah, well, that is disappointing, because we are not seemingly moving with the necessary speed to inspire the necessary confidence in that the economy is taking priority and that the issue of jobs is going to be a keen focus of government. The president spoke in very vague terms in that regard. However, let us welcome the principle which has been established that the economy is going to take priority in this regard, but the president must move with the necessary speed to actually bring that plan into the public domain for scrutiny, so that we can all be on the same page in terms of how the country is going to be moving forward. We came into this pandemic in crisis. It was compounded by the pandemic, and therefore every effort now needs to be done that we do not find ourselves unable to grapple with the realities of a second wave. And so the issue really resides with South Africans now, that if we want to jumpstart the economy, we all are duty bound to be responsible in terms of what we do. So the excitement which may resonate with level one insofar as all the opening ups of things have happened does not mean that we should let our guard down. That needs to be the message which must go out to all South Africans at this point.
All right, thank you. IFP leader Mkhuleko Klengwa, and we continue to bring you political reaction. We'll bring you economic reaction as well to the president's address tonight. Chris Helder.
Thank you very much, Francis. More reaction. Peter Groenewald of the Freedom Front Plus. Very good evening to you, sir. Thanks indeed for your time. Your reaction to the president's address tonight.
Good evening. Firstly, it comes as no surprise that we are moving to level one. Everybody was expecting that. But I want to start where the president ended his speech, asking people to celebrate and to be joyful and dance, on referring to the Jerusalem issue. I wanted to ask the president, how can you ask people to celebrate, to sing and to dance if you have lost your job, if you don't have a good income, and if you have become poor because of the COVID-19 virus and the way the government has handled the economy? They have destroyed it. And therefore, the Freedom Front Plus says that we should focus now on the economy, how to strengthen it, how to make it conducive for investors to start their businesses so that we can create jobs. Therefore, I'm a bit disappointed. You only referred to the fact that there will be soft loans, but those loans have to be paid back. What we wanted to hear was, firstly, the steps they're going to take to reduce tax money or taxes, for instance, taxes on the individual, taxes on companies, also the restructuring of the economy, to say to potential investors, locally and internationally, that we will create conducive circumstances. For instance, that we will do away with expropriation without compensation, that we will ensure that there is no such thing as if your investment is here, that it will be in danger. So the focus should be there. We also don't understand the whole issue of the curfew. It doesn't make sense. And we also say that when you talk about the venues, it's still on the announcement, they can only function at 50%. We are of the opinion that they could have opened it. People have the sense and the urgency to ensure their own safety.
Yeah. All right, Peter Groenewald of the Freedom Front Plus, thank you very much indeed for your reaction. Francis, who do you have next?
I understand we have Dennis Blum from COPE on the line. If it is you, Mr. Blum, did you like the reference to the famous South African song Jerusalem tonight?
What I am saying, Francis, is that we are missing the former president, Zuma, on this one. He could have burned the whole country up in flames with that Jerusalem. We are missing him for that. But let me come to this. Firstly, we want to say that people must not think that everything is over now. We have already defeated this coronavirus. People must still be very cautious and keep safe. We must always remember not to ignore professional advice from scientists and experts. But Francis, our biggest problem is the unemployment that this coronavirus, and even before coronavirus, our more than 3 million people have lost their jobs now in this space. We must do something. The government must not, this handout will not solve the problem. We must do empowerment programs. We did not hear anything tonight from the president about the recovery plan that he was talking about. Now,
Mr. Blum, we do know some details. Yes, we were waiting for full details, but the presidency saying yesterday that, for example, it includes a social compact, business, labour and government agreeing on a way to fund Eskom sustainably for a fit-for-purpose power utility. Does that give you hope from the details you've heard about the recovery plan that we're still waiting for?
No, Francis, we want details of that. You see, our economy is in a very serious crisis now. Millions of people are sitting without job. We are saying that empowerment programs must be cooperatives for especially women. Let us do that thing and leave this handout. We must empower our people like the Afrikaners have empowered their people during the apartheid days. Let us not make our people beggars for always stand with a hand or with a head. We must do whatever we can, especially now that so many people are unemployed. That is the only solution. We must not do that by begging, making our people beggars. We must not do that.
All right. Thank you for your time tonight. That was leader of COPE, Dennis Blum. Griselda.
Sibusisa Mncwabe, now the national spokesperson for ATM, joins us. Mr. Mncwabe, very good evening to you. Your reaction to the president's address to the nation tonight.
Well, good evening, Ms. Griselda, and thank you very much for the opportunity. Well, as a party, we're honestly expecting the president to make such an announcement today, because we have seen how the people of this country cooperated in this fight against the pandemic. We can all of us see the numbers really have reduced of both infections and deaths. That one must be appreciated. We note that the international travel has been opened. And we welcome that because it has hit so much on the tourism industry, which has employed a number of our people. Now that is open, we welcome that, and we believe that it's a starting point to resuscitate the economy of this country. But most importantly, the increase on the number on social gatherings also is something that we must welcome, because a number of people in our townships are making living on certain types of gathering, especially on the informal economy that our people really are so in terms of making a living. We welcome that, and we believe that also will ease stress to our people, because this lockdown has come with a lot of strain to a number of people. People have lost employment, lost relatives, lost the loved ones. We've just seen the artists of this country as well making their voice that they've been really affected by this lockdown. Yeah. The president needs to open up. We think it's a victory for our artists for that, and we want to really welcome that one.
Mr. Mncwabe, thank you very much indeed for your reaction to the President's address. Francis?
All right, let's continue to bring you political reaction to the address by the President tonight, announcing that South Africa will move to lockdown level 1 on Sunday at midnight. Kanan Mdleche from the NFP on the line. Can you give us your reaction?
Thank you so much for having us. National Freedom Party. We welcome the announcement by the President to move the country to level 1, as we believe that it will open more economic activities and eventually get more people to work, but also boost our economy, which has been ailing and struggling for over 6 months now. We really do appreciate that the President has announced, and we are hoping that it will bring stability to our economy.
Are you disappointed then, like some of the political parties are, that there was no detail on the economic recovery plan that we know is on the table but not yet finalized?
No, definitely. The President didn't give us too much, and we are hoping that the relevant ministers and departments are going to take us through to exactly what is going to happen and when. But we're also disappointed as the NFP that the President didn't say much about the COVID-19 corruption. We're hoping that he will take the country into confidence and tell us what has been done to make sure that all those implicated or suspected to have looted the money have been arrested, other than the people being removed from their position or putting on being suspended or put on special leave. That is definitely not enough. We're hoping more from the President, and the rest we are really disappointed.
All right, thank you very much, Kanan Mdleche from the NFP. All right, comprehensive political reaction. We'll bring you some of the business reaction as well, economic reaction. Still waiting for the detail on that economic plan. But what does a move to lockdown level 1 mean for South Africa and its embattled economy? See you shortly.